The definition of racism is a belief or doctrine that inherent differences among the various human races determine cultural or individual achievement, usually involving the idea that one's race is superior and has the right to rule others. The second definition is simply a policy, system of government, etc., based upon or fostering such a doctrine of discrimination. The third is hatred or intolerance of another race or other races. Racism is the most deadliest weapon and ideology on the face of this planet. Hello, my name is Edward Oquendo, and this is my YouTube audio vlog on why racism is not needed. Racism affects the way we think, act, and process interactions with one another on a social venue. Racism is not only a social problem, but also it intertwines in just about every aspect pertaining to life in general. In the past 100 years, 62 million people have died in the face of racism for some reason or another. Now think about this. 62 million people dying because of racism. Simply enough, racism. Let's do the math. Racism is a silent apartheid. Racism sparks hatred. Racism invokes violence. Now, why would we want these things? What's next? Are we going to start committing ourselves to suicide in the name of racism? Now, this is something to think about. How many people must die before we open up our eyes and see that this silent killer is murdering all of us? And how can we stop it? Here's another perspective to think about. Are we slaves to racism? None the least, in some shape, way, or form, we all are. Ultimately, in this way of life, we will never really do anything in our lifetime that we can truthfully call progress, especially as human beings. And on this note, why should we even be able to call ourselves human beings? Especially if we're going to subject ourselves to being racists. To continue, racism is one of the biggest influential perspectives that eliminate peace on this planet. Without a change in the way we think, act, and socialize, at least in this country in which I live, we can never really call ourselves the land of the free. Thus, leaving all of us rendered to this ideology's rearing head and shackled to its feet in shame. Foremost, as a species, we cannot make any progress to the fullest potential without getting rid of racism as a whole. Today, I challenge everyone who views this video to take action by simply doing this. Increase the peace and erase the hate. Try practicing this at least one time in your life. Together, step by step, we will change the world.